In this video, we will try to explain with examples how we can test different strategies. Let's say we want to predict games total in tennis, and we want to check whether it's possible to do this using the open and closed odds of the Bwin bookmaker. Let's say we decided that we would look for suitable games in the database by totals and home-away odds of the game. This will be our strategy, and we will test it. The best option to test the strategy is to test it on games whose result is already known. We will test the strategy on old games, excluding from the result the game on which we test the strategy, because we are simulating the process of predicting the result of this game. This method is the best because we do not need to test different strategies on games that have not yet started and spend time waiting for their results in order to evaluate the effectiveness of the strategy. We open the tennis table and remove the data that we are not interested in. For example, let's take these odds on total 20.5. We take any odds that is most common in the database, so that at the result there are as many games as possible. We are trying to check if there is a pattern in the total games in the game, depending on the odds of the bookmaker Bwin. The remaining totals are skipped in order to exclude as few games as possible. Now we apply home-away odds. Let's select any odds that is most common in the result. As we can see, after applying the filters for closed odds, there are 5 games left with different open odds. Let's use 3.1 for an example. As you can see, there are 2 games with the same games total. Such accuracy is very rare. Usually, if there is a pattern, then the scatter is several games. So the strategy can work. Let's test it on another game that has already ended. Let's take this game as an example. We open the total and find the total that has Bwin in it. As a result, we find 2 games. We exclude the game on the example of which we were looking for odds from the result, and there remains only 1 game that ended with 24 games. And our game on the example of which we tested the strategy ended with 20 games. In this way, we can test the strategy on 10, 20, or more games, and at the end, we consider how winning this strategy is. The more games on which we will test the strategy, the better. Let's now test another strategy with which we will try to predict the game result. In order to predict the game result, we decided that we would look for games by handicap and home-away odds. As an example, let's take set handicaps. We will test the strategy on this game. We exclude this game from the result because we took this game to test the strategy. After the elimination of this game, we see that there are 3 games left, and 2 of them, which have the same country as in the game that we took for the test, ended with the home team winning. Our game that we took as an example ended with the same result. So the strategy has found a pattern, and we can test it further on other games.